Before we start this meeting, the superintendent has something he'd like to read out, please.
Great, thank you, Chair. I would just like to take a moment to acknowledge the sudden passing of one of our own, custodial supervisor, Christina Ames. And as I think people in the room are aware, Christina started with the school district on October 1st, 2024, and quickly became a respected and much loved employee within our district here. Our heartfelt condolences are extended to Christina's family, friends, and colleagues. And I would also like to acknowledge the school district staff who supported Christina and the district critical incident team and supports that were made available throughout the last week. So thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Superintendent. And I'll call this meeting to order. Aitzquel, CM Nutsiea, Aitzqualawan Kwana Silam Nala. I'd like to acknowledge that this meeting is taking place on the lands of the Hulkaminam speaking people, specifically the Kwamson village. The Board of Education is honored to be able to collaboratively walk beside the Cowichan, Malahat, Subasat, Halal, Penelakits, Dominas, and Wyaxan peoples who have cared for this land for thousands of years. May we walk gently on the unceded territories of their lands as we work together to lift up all the ha-has. Motion to adopt the agenda. Before we do that, trustees, I'd like to add 8.2.1, grade reconfiguration. May I get a motion to adopt the agenda as amended? Moved by trustee Thorne, seconded by trustee Sousa. All those in favor? Thank you. Approval of the consent agenda that the Board of Education of School District 79 Cowichan Valley approves the consent agenda items on the open board meeting December 2nd, 2025 as presented. Moved by trustee Croft, seconded by trustee Doman. All those in favor. Thank you, folks. Minutes of the November 25th open board meeting that the Board of Education of School District 79 Cowichan Valley adopts the minutes of the November 4th, 2025 open board meeting. Moved by trustee Sousa, seconded by trustee Thorne. All those in favor? Thank you. No recognitions or delegations. Mr. Sandquist, report of the closed meeting, please.
Thank you. The board met in closed session just prior to this open meeting and concluded their business. There was a business plan reviewed. There were property matters and contractual matters and a tender award.
Thank you, Mr. Sandquist. Action list. We have everything completed. Yay. Superintendent of Schools.
Thank you. Through you, Chair. A few items here to bring forward. Sorry, just for clarification, did you say the grade reconfiguration was
8.2.1?
8.2.1. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so for board information here, just bringing forward. First of all, 8.1.1, schedule of winter events, and that's attached. Page 26 of the agenda package for winter events for information for trustees. And if trustees are interested in attending any events, please contact the school principal. Next, acknowledgements. I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the work of those involved in organizing the November 28th non-instructional day. The district level organizers, Mary Peter, Ann Kissinger, Nicole Boucher, and Tammy Raynard. Also recognizing individuals for their contribution to the non-instructional day. So Dr. Haley Watson through Open Parachute, district principals and vice principals for the mental health working group and Open Parachute working group. Brenda Stevenson, Joel Smith, Richard Matthews, Naomi Barkley for leading the UCARO training. Ashley Bell for supporting the PHE training session at Kwamachin. Kara Joyce and Hannah Morales for supporting the True Colors workshop in the Salmona Gathering Space, and Lucy Thomas from the House of Friendship. And also Hesepka to all for putting on an excellent learning opportunity for school district staff. So really appreciate everyone's contribution there. I would also like to acknowledge and thank Amy Loudon and Lisa Hermant for their efforts in providing literacy in service to all K-3 teachers in our district this fall. They went above and beyond to ensure that our teachers were provided with practical, evidence-based strategies to ensure our students become independent readers. And Hesepka as well to Amy and Lisa for their efforts there. Also, further acknowledgements to thank the group of education assistants who join their students in the pool as part of the therapeutic swim program. Education assistants who support the swim program are Aaron Blum, Bonnie Morgan, Shannon Kelly, Michelle James, Kim, and I cannot pronounce the last name there, so I apologize for that. Jessica Girdlestone, Shannon Sheepwash, Michelle Arbisher, Deanna Eccleston, Leah Talbot, Tammy Auger, Ann Golin, and the E's during this time, they lift up these learners that are often limited with mobility issues, literally. And again, high subcat to these group who joined the students in the pool for the swimming program. So great work there. I'd like to acknowledge and thank all of the principals and vice principals who signed up for the Foundation Skills Assessment marking this year. I believe this took place over a couple of days, and it was a huge commitment to making sure that our FSAs were marked to the standard of our district. So great work there. On Wednesday, November 19th, the district leadership team welcomed secondary department heads and elementary literacy representatives and teacher leaders for an evening of learning and conversation. The elementary evening was led by Ann Kissinger, Sandra Buckland, Madeline Rouchot, Nicole Davey, and Brenda Lee. And the elementary teams began their year-long learning related to the book Better Together that combines the work of professional learning communities with evidence-based reading instruction. On January 21st, these teams will have the opportunity to meet one of the book authors, Greg Kushner, with direct opportunity for questions and answers. And again, high subcat to those that led this evening's learning opportunity. There was great work that took place there. Secondary department heads and principals and vice principals met with Tammy Renyard and had presentations from colleagues on literacy strategies that can be used and shared across all classrooms in our secondary schools. It was an engaging session that was well received by the department heads and principals and vice principals, and thanks to presenters Diana Weld, Karina Fitzner, Alana Skeen, and Annika Nussbaum. And again, I was back and forth along with our assistant superintendents, and it's great work that's happening in the area of promoting literacy throughout all of our schools, K-12 here. Administrative procedure update. So new AP 174, the response to unexpected health emergencies. This new administrative procedure was created to provide procedures for implementing and the requirements of the AEDs and naloxone in place at secondary, elementary, and all district sites, and it includes the installation, access, and maintenance schedule, as well as revised AP 404, employee conflict of interest. This revised administrative procedure identified that conflict of interest can exist when an employee provides professional service to students and or their families outside of their district role. Employees are to disclose such professional arrangements to their immediate supervisor. There's a lot happening in terms of careers and Career Education Week. So the Ministry of Education and Child Care invited schools to participate in Career Education Week from November 24th to 28th. Developed a partnership with the Career Education Society of BC. Career Education Week featured virtual and in-person activities, and a lot of activities that took place through the month of November. During the month of November, there were numerous career happenings in the district. The grade 7 Try a Trade started in November. was held November 12th, 13th, 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. Post-secondary BC Fair occurred on November 18th at Cowichan Secondary. There was hands-on health day and VHA and Camosun on November 19th. There was a UBC medical student came to Cowichan Secondary on November 25th, and Gravity Car school races started in November as well. So lots of good work is happening in the careers areas. As mentioned, non-instructional day, November 28th. It'll be up here on the screen for a poster, and the focus of the day was based on aligning with the goal of individual and collective well-being. The morning featured a keynote speaker, Dr. Haley Watson, founder of Open Parachute, who presented on the topic of understanding substance use and the role of K-12 education. Conversations that support substance use prevention and teaching substance use prevention skills in schools K-12. The afternoon session was site-based. Staff also had the opportunity to choose or take part in Yukuru training as an alternative to the school-based session. The next non-instructional day is April 13th, and in the morning theme will be focused on learning, and the afternoon will be focused on individual school frameworks for enhancing student learning. As noted prior to the meeting here, congratulations to the senior girls volleyball team. There's a photo up here from Lake Cowichan Secondary School. So the Lake Cowichan senior girls volleyball team placed 9th, as I understand, at the provincials in Castlegar, November 26th to 28th. And I'll also mention, as it was texted to me, that the girls team from Lake Cowichan defeated the Duncan Christian School students and placed ahead of them. So that was fantastic outing for these girls. Cowichan Secondary School Performing Arts Musical Announcement. Another photo here. Cowichan Secondary School is Performing Arts is pleased to announce that in a grand return to form, they'll be staging Little Shop of Horrors under the direction of Rosanna Jackson, Gordy Carley, and John Lofto. And this musical will be taking place in March next year, so please stay tuned for further details. Francis Kelsey Secondary, English First Peoples 11 and BC First Peoples 12, land-based learning. There's a photo up here, and Francis Kelsey Model UN Club trips. So there's two items, the Francis Kelsey Secondary students in English First Peoples 11, BC First Peoples 12 had a field trip to Goldstream. This trip was in partnership with the Malahat Lands Department for some land-based learning. And again, photo up here on this screen. And on November 14th, Francis Kelsey Secondary students, Model UN Club, traveled to Nanaimo to participate in the VIU Model UN Learning Conference. This conference theme was a celebration of the United Nations 80th anniversary to propose changes to the current United Nations structure that will modernize the United Nations and better equip the organization to deal with future issues. Keynote speaker Alvaro Rodriguez, retired UN diplomat, opened with a frank discussion from his experiences, which included earthquake relief in Turkey, maintaining Black Sea grain corridor for Ukraine during the first phase of the Russian invasion. And I had opportunity through their teacher at Francis Kelsey to meet with some of the students that participated in this event, and they were extremely enthusiastic and inspired by their learning that took place there. Maple Bay Elementary, visiting seniors at Deer Trail Cottage, another grouping of photos here. Division 1 at Maple Bay Elementary has been visiting with their senior friends at Deer Trail Cottage for almost a year and a half. They do crafts together, visit and tell stories, genuinely enjoy each other's company. This intergenerational relationship has taught the students so much, showing how important it is to maintain personal relationships no matter what age you are. And again, I'll note that I've had opportunity to be in the classroom with these students, and I've had a few students show me the photos up on the wall of the work that they've been doing with the seniors. So it's very heartwarming to see that. Chemainus Elementary Community School, Remembrance Day Assembly, there are photos here, and musical instruments, also a photo here, and BCTF tip grant. So sharing some photos of the Chemainus Elementary Remembrance Day Assembly on November 10th with members of the Legion in attendance. They borrowed some of the school's artwork and asked for a copy of their principal's slideshow to keep on file. And the Legion members stayed and had coffee and a treat after the assembly. So thank you to them for participating in our school-led events for Remembrance Day. The Chemainus Elementary PAC bought the school music department an electric piano, which they are very excited about. Also, the music teacher procured a new set of drums for the music class. Sharing a photo with the students with the new musical instruments. They're enjoying the instruments and hope to feature their use in the school's winter concerts. So that's fantastic news. And to support the our school's work with literacy, they applied and were approved for the BCTF tip grant to increase teacher familiarity in the practice of teaching the art of writing. And they want to thank the school district for its financial support and encouragement in this learning activity. The staff are also completing a book study, Writing the Revolution 2.0, which supports this work as well. Alex Aiken Elementary, student participation in the video project to help pronounce the new hospital name. And there's a short video here. I'll just give a snippet before we play the video. In November, Alex Aiken School had the privilege of collaborating with Anna Forrest, project coordinator for communications with the Cowichan District Hospital Replacement Project, on a media release announcing the new hospital name. The hospital is being gifted a Hulkamanum name, and Alex Aiken students, Brenner Forrest, Connell Martiskian, Haley, Ruby, Ivy, Scarlett, sorry, I'm just not going with the last names there, with the support of their teacher, Mrs. Nowicki, participated in this project to help ensure the name was pronounced correctly. So we have this coming up in the video here, and I'm not going to even attempt to pronounce the name, but it's for the new Cowichan Valley Hospital. The name was gifted by Cowichan elders, honors the land, language, and holistic healing traditions of the Cowichan peoples, and is paired with the English name for Cowichan Valley Hospital. So we can share this with you.
Yes. Just need a moment here to see if I can get this to share to screen here. I'm on an ad.
If you all keep going while we're waiting, I'll just move on to the next item and come back to
I've
this
got
one.
it. Yeah, I just need to share the screen. Hopefully this works.
I'll just add, I know the Secretary Treasurer did a run through this afternoon on this, so you worked at that time. So.
I may put off my speaker, it may create a bunch of feedback, but we'll try it. Okay, just a second here. I'm waiting for it to move.
Cowichan Halitan out. Kawatsan Halitan out.
Cowitson, Halitan,
What'd you do, Mrs.
Kawatsan Halitan out.
Cowitson, Halitan, out. Cowitson, Halitan, out.
Cowitson, Halitan, out.
Kawatsan Halitan out. Kawatsan Halitan out.
Cowitson, Halitan, out.
Cowitson, Halitan, out.
Kawatsan Halitan out. Kawatsan Halitan out.
Sorry about the feedback.
Added flair to the
Great, yes, thank you. So, that is being rolled out. This was an exciting project that the students were able to participate in. Great recognition of the special place that we live in and have the ability to work in. When they presented the video with their weekly Monday morning school assemblies. So, very honored to have our students participate in this rollout. As well, just moving forward here, the BC School Superintendents Association held a fall symposium November 12th to the 14th in Vancouver. The theme was compassionate systems change, inequality or equity, and the symposium featured speakers, Dr. Meta Bowl for the Center of Systems Awareness, How to Human in an Age of Collapsing Global Structure, and Dr. Anne Lopez from the University of Toronto, Navigating the Leadership Journey in Challenging Times. As well, the BC School Trustees Association Trustee Academy was held this past week, November 27th and 28th in Vancouver, and on November 27th, 28th,
And 29th.
and 29th for the AGM. So along with trustees and the Secretary Treasurer, I was able to attend on the Friday. The theme was Building Public Education Champions. The opening featured keynote Farhad Mohammed, Senator, CEO of the King's Trust Canada, former CEO of the Malaya Fund, and founder She Girls 20. And she spoke about sustainable futures and the power of youth for social and governance initiatives. So that was another great event and great learning opportunities for all that participated in that. Kindergarten registration for next year is fast approaching, and as per AP 301, student registration, enrollment, and placement, kindergarten registration will commence on the third Monday in January for district programs. So district programs of choice, and the fourth Monday in January for each year for the catchment schools until the end of the first week of the following school year in September. Seats will be assigned based on registration priorities listed in the administrative procedure. Third week in January, January 19th to the 23rd for district programs in French immersion. Fourth week in January is January 26th to the 30th for all catchment schools. And the lottery for district programs, there should there need to be one, will take place on January 23rd. Also in your package, I believe there's a listing of schools that I was able to visit in the last month. And again, it's an honor to be able to get into these schools and to be able to see the learning and to engage with students and staff as I tour the schools and have a visit in the classrooms. So thank you for that. Chair.
Thank you, Superintendent. For board action, 8.2.1, grade reconfiguration.
Thank you. So I'm just bringing forward to the board for consideration here. It was actually a request for the superintendent and staff, so to meet with the principals of the schools just to get a feel for where they deem that we would be at in terms of pre-configuration. What we were looking at was or is the potential of having students retained, grade 7 students retained at Crofton Elementary and at Chemainus Elementary, and have them move forward the next year. We had a good meeting with the principal of Chemainus Secondary, Chemainus Elementary, and Crofton Elementary, and what we were looking at is the impact on schools and what that would have in terms of enrollments, class size and composition, looking at budget implications, looking at facility conditions and safety, accessibility, and emotional well-being of students. So I'm bringing this forward for consideration of the board and a motion that's attached to that. So,
Trustees, any questions? Trustee Kraft? Oh, would you like me to read it out first?
We got a preview though.
The big one.
Thank you.
Whereas the elementary student populations in Chemainus Elementary and Crofton Elementary have been declining and are not projected to grow in the long-term enrollment projections. And on September 2019, based on overpopulation at Chemainus Elementary and Crofton Elementary, the grade 7s were transferred to Chemainus Secondary. And the superintendent has evaluated the impact on diversity and quality of education programs, safety, accessibility, and emotional well-being of students, class sizes and staffing implications, capacity and readiness of Chemainus Elementary and Crofton Elementary to retain the grade 7s, enrollment trends and future projections, facility condition, age, associated maintenance or upgrade needs at Chemainus Elementary and Crofton Elementary, financial sustainability and funding considerations, and that the Board of Education of School District 79 Cowichan Valley begins the consultation process concluding on February 20th, 2026 to collect input from school staff and unions, District Parent Advisory Council, Chemainus Elementary, Crofton Elementary, and Chemainus Secondary Parent Advisory Councils, municipal councils, Indigenous partners, community organizations, parents, students, on the sustainability of reconfiguring, on the suitability, I did that before too, on the suitability of reconfiguring Chemainus Elementary and Crofton Elementary to a K-7 grade structure and Chemainus Secondary to an 8-12 grade structure beginning in the 2026-2027 or 2027-2028 school year. Moved by Trustee Kraft, seconded by Trustee Thorne. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Trustee Souza, would you like to abstain?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. That concludes my portion.
Thank you, Superintendent. Mr. Sandquist, please.
Thank you. I have 2 information items and 1 action item this evening. The first is I would like to review the first financial forecast of the year with the board and members of the gallery, public. So this year is a projection that's prepared based on the first 2 months of the school year. So it's as of October 31st, 2025. We have done an estimate on the grant that reflects the enrollment drop, other factors that we see changing, such as average teacher salary. And so we have this laid out in a way that shows where we believe our revenues to be at this time and our expenditures to be at this time. Currently, of course, tracking the provincial grant as per projected, assuming also tracking the international program as budgeted. A little bit to go, but second semester still to come. Local education agreement will be on budget. Miscellaneous revenue is currently already exceeding the board's budget, as is transportation, which is the transportation charge to the international students. Before and after school fees appears to be tracking close to as expected. Rentals are exceeding the budget already 2 months in. Many of them are billed out already to the end of the year. That's why it's over. Interest also appears to be on track. So there would be utilization within the current budget of $4.224 million of prior year surplus. Moving to expenditures, currently over budget by $37,000 in projection on principal vice principals. teachers by 26,000, so extremely close on those two budgets. Education assistants just slightly under budget. Clerical slightly over, so QP started netting into a net zero. USW well under budget at this time, but we do a lot of capital work in the summer and move to maintenance schedules in the winter, so we'll start to see that surplus projection change and exempt currently under budget. We have 2 months of absenteeism data, and when we do our extrapolation and project that out, right now projecting 4.4 million on $4.6 million budget. This is how many people we're actually able to replace, because we know we also have supply, staff and supply issues on some of the employee groups. So that one's coming in just under budget by 192,000. It's too early for us to look at benefits or any of our supply allocations. So all that said, based on the draft budget that we currently have amended, we're looking at a surplus projection of 660,000, so on 110 million, very tight. Moving that forward, if we look at the surplus utilization, board finished off the year 24-25 with approximately 4% of surplus in unrestricted. And that remains very little change there with the budget as it's rolling out for this year. So just wanted to bring the first projection. They get more and more accurate as we move towards further into the year. This is only based on 2 months data. We have 8 months to go, but right now tracking to be on track for the year.
Trustees, any questions? Hearing none. Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
The next item I have is just to inform everybody of the winter break hours. As traditional here, the board office closes to allow people to take vacations. So there will be closure of the school board office center receiving transportations and operations to the public from December 20th to January 4th. Packages would be delivered if there's deliveries. We will have staff here, so those would be notes put on for deliveries to come to the board office. Okay. The next item is the District Transportation Services Policy 19 update. It was brought to the board at the last board meeting, referred to advisory, where it went through all the employee groups and partner groups, then arrived at the Board Education and Business Committee, where a motion was put forth to recommend the updated policy to the board at this meeting.
Trustees, any questions before we put the motion on the table? Hearing none. That the Board of Education of School District 79 Cowichan Valley adopts Policy 19, School District Transportation Services. Moved by Trustee Sousa, seconded by Trustee Thorn. All of those in favor? Thank you, folks.
Thank you. That's my report.
Thank you, Mr. Sandquist. Superintendent, Indigenous Education Council.
Thank you. Again, through you, Chair, just highlights from the Indigenous Education Council meeting held in November. 5 of 7 voting nations were represented, plus the Cowichan Valley Métis Association as a non-voting member. District Principal Mary Peter addressed the request for update on positions within the school district Indigenous Education Department. District Principal Mary Peter also provided updates to the Council on approved expenditures of the surplus targeted funding. District Principal Nicole Boucher provided update on attendance-related strategies and initiatives being utilized within the district. As well, District Principal Nicole Boucher shared the draft framework for children, youth, and care, and also spoke to the council representatives on the accreditation process associated with external credits for cultural work, and extended opportunity to be able to work with the nations should they choose to do so for that area. Assistant Superintendent Jeff Rowan updated the council on initiatives supported by the board's Climate Action Advisory Committee. Just a reminder that the next meeting is being held tomorrow, Wednesday, December 3rd. The meeting is actually 11 to 2, but there's an invite for trustees to be able to get together with the Indigenous Education Council members for lunch. And I'll add that the IEC membership also discussed having an Inuit representative on the council as a non-voting member. So they're looking into that. And that
Thank you,
concludes
Superintendent.
that report. Thank you.
Mr. Trustee Sousa.
Yeah, it's a question, I don't know if you maybe able to answer it at this point, but is there sort of like a broader BC level IEC, like an umbrella group that represents all the IECs across BC?
So through you, Chair, I would say there is not an IEC per se. This is coming again through Bill 40 legislation. So I presented on that with advisory, and so it's legislated directive. There is sign off, I guess, through First Nations Education Steering Committee and the Ministry of Education in terms of providing this direction.
Yeah, I was just curious if there's like an umbrella or that represents the councils, as a collective.
Yeah. So, just again through you, Chair, I don't believe that there is at the provincial level.
Trustee Sousa, that was one of the plenary sessions that we had that I went to, and everybody's operating independently, and not everybody has a terms of reference yet. So they're still trying to make sure that they get everybody together, but Finesca's definitely keeping their eye on how everything's forming. So is the Ministry of Education. All right. No committees and outside organizations, upcoming meetings. So yes, Carrie, don't forget, 12 o'clock tomorrow at the Cowitson Secondary Boardroom. We'll be having lunch with the Indigenous Education Council. So trustees, I hope you have that in your calendars. Folks, do you see anything that's missing? No, Trustee Strachan will be at DSAC. All right, moving on. No correspondence, no new business. Mr. Stanquist, do we have anybody online?
Just checking.
Anybody in the gallery, if you have a question, please write it down and the staff will pick that up.
We do have one online, so if there's an online question related to the agenda, just put that into the question and answers. If anybody in the gallery has a question, we have our forms on the table at the end here. Let's give it a moment to see if there's any activity.
No? Any questions from the gallery?
Updated information. It was
Yes,
said
please.
the little shop will be in March at Palmich, and they've actually decided to go big or go home. It will be in April at the Island Savings Center, or at the CCC.
Mr. Jackson, if anybody needs any assistance in the production, please let them know I will be available.
Taking a big financial risk.
I will be available if you need any help. It's my jam there. So, motion, thank you for that. Motion to adjourn, moved by Trustee Kraft, seconded by Trustee Sousa. All those in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you very much and have a good evening, everyone.